Schwabenbräu, das Winterbier.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Band, Bikes and Booze Reviews. This is a bottle of Das Winterbier from Schwabenbräu, who are based in Stuttgart, of all places, which is in Baden-Württemberg in southern Germany. And this lot are an amalgamation of the Dinkel Brewery, yeah, I know, it's German, and Schwabenbräu, which is really strange because it's got Allgäuer Brauhaus on top. Is that right? That can't be right. Are they recycling some of these tops? Because I'm sure Allgäuer, or Allgauer, fucking hell, my German is absolute fucking dog shit. I'm sure that that's got nothing to do with this lot. That's weird, and I'm confused. Anyway, enough about that. The beer is the beer. This lot are the this brewery. I'm going to go with Dinkel being the and Schwabenbräu being the brewery. This lot are the largest independent brewery in Baden-Württemberg. And they were voted best employer in, I think, 2010 in Stuttgart, which is no mean feat. I always like to hear of employers treating their employees really well. And obviously this lot have that in mind, so fucking more power to them. This lot was founded in 1878 by a fella called Robert Leicht, I think his name is. And in 1996, they were merged with this Dinkel brewery, and believe it or not, they were bought out by AB InBev. And in 2007, the owner, or he was one of the original family members. He bought it back off of them, and now they are an independent brewer, which I think is great. And I love to see that independent brewers buying back their brewery from the big macro brewers. Very fucking heartening to hear that. It's a shame it doesn't happen more often. I'm sure the beer is of a better quality now that they haven't got the macro brewers, bean counters, looking over their shoulders saying, where's me profits? The other breweries that this lot own are one called Sandwald and Wohler breweries, I think they're called. And yeah, they're like an umbrella company. If you can imagine, I don't know, a smaller version, an independent version of Carlsberg Marston's, and they own a few breweries. There's a few like that. I think Bitburger do that as well. I think Bitburger own not Bitburger, Radeberger. They own a few breweries as well, a few brands, and that's what this lot do. Would you believe they also brew a Schwarzbier, which is unusual. You don't see that very often, but they do. They actually brew a Schwarzbier, and they do a full range of beers. They do a wheat beer, they do a Pilsner, they do a Helles, and yeah, I've not seen this lot over here before, this Schwabenbräu. Could well be available on Beers of Europe. You'd be surprised, some of the stuff you get on Beers of Europe is a little bit obscure. It's not just the big German names. So yeah, if if this gets a good review, then you're probably going to be able to find that on Beers of Europe. But this lot have an advertising campaign. They have like a cartoon strip, and they have two characters in there called Ernst und Eichler or something, I think his name is. Fucking hell, my German, Jesus. But they invite people to come up with phrases in Higher German or Schwabian, and if the company likes the phrase, they'll print it on a beer mat, and they'll give them a free crate of beer every month for a year. I think that's a fucking great idea. So they're not using the marketing people, they're just basically getting people off the street to do their marketing for them and paying them in beer. I think that's brilliant, personally. You ain't got a fucking... Apologies to anyone who's in marketing, but you know, I do have a cynical view on marketing. I think it just preys on people's weaknesses, but that's just me being a cynic. Anyway, let's fucking steer out of that cul-de-sac. But yeah, they were merged in 1996 with this Dinkelacke, and it's now called Dinkelacke Schwabenboy. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, I've waffled on too long. Let's investigate this beer.
I didn't understand that.
Well, you didn't understand it because I can't speak fucking German, you twat. That's my Bixby phone, if you did hear that. Let's get this beer investigated. I wonder what the fuck that was. Right, hopefully the fucking phone won't speak to me. This is a 500ml bottle. It's 5.5%. There's no brew sheet on the website. Unfortunately, I can't give you any indication as to what's in here. I'm assuming they're Hallertau hops that they've used in here, some variety. I can't give you any authoritative answer on that. Yeah, conforms to the Reinheitsgebot, Wasser, Gerstenmalz, Hopfen. That's water, malted barley, hops, and that's about it really. So yeah, Dinkelacke Schwabenboy, GmbH and Co. KG Stuttgart. Well, there you go. Here's a copy. Here's a view of the label. It's a winter beer, and it is fucking taters out there. So let's get it open and let's see what's going on. Oh yes, always satisfying. Right, this glass, I've had to wash it out, hence the reason it's a little bit wet. So let's see. Cool, that original fucking burst of aroma is full of spice. Wow, this glass is still filthy. Fucking hell, I'm useless at this. I shouldn't even be on YouTube. Malty and spicy. That's what I'm getting. It's putting me in mind of a sort of a Pilsner. There's that noble hop spice, and it is quite pronounced actually. Almost sarts in its aroma. Interesting. There is the colour. It looks to be a little bit hazy. Fair amount of carbonation. Head's dissipated, probably because of the state of the glass. Do apologise for that. Anyway, let's get it down my fat Gregory Peck. Zum Wohl, as I say in Germany. Pretty nondescript, to be honest. Let's get the rest of it in the glass. Maybe, oh maybe, there is some yeast in there that needs to be poured into the glass. I mean, there's a fucking load of carbonation in that, and it is a hazy beer, but it doesn't say it on there. I don't think I can't see Nature Trube or anything like that. Ah, I lie. It's unfiltered. Unser würziger, unfiltriert Spezialität für den Winter. Für den Winter. Fucking, I'll never get the hang of German. Jesus Christ. I'm glad we won the fucking war, because if I had to learn that, I'd been the first one to put up against the wall and fucking shot for butchering the language. Fucking hell. Let's dive in again. Some quite defined hop character on that. There is a real note of spice on there, like black pepper spice, and there's also, if you can imagine, a seam of honey running through it as well, which I'm assuming is coming from the yeast. And to be honest, it's not a bad beer, I have to say. I wouldn't call it a winter beer though. For me, and I know I'm an old fucking git, miserable old git, but for me, winter beers should be dark. This reminds me of a Märzen, or is it Märzen? I don't know how to pronounce it again. Butchering the fucking language. There would be no end of fucking firing squads willing to fucking put me out of my misery when it comes to speaking German. There it all is in a glass. Now, there was a little bit of sediment in there that's gone in there. I can't see any floaters. There's no floaters. But it has changed colour a little bit. It's a little bit more... got an orange hue to it now. Almost like a Weizen, judging by the colour. This is quite chilled, actually. It's chilled. It's come out of the fridge. It's been sat there for about 20 minutes. And, yeah, let's dive in again. Oh, that last bit has made a little bit of a difference. It's slightly fuller in the body now, and it's coming across as more balanced. There's a little bit more sweetness to that. The original hop spice isn't as pronounced. Let me dive in again. You're only getting that hop spiciness on the finish now. Before it was on the palate and it was all the way through. You're only getting it on the finish now. There is no big malty finish on this of note. There's a little bit, but it isn't that great. And there's a hint. I don't know whether this is me, but I'm getting this a lot in some of the German beers I've reviewed recently. And it's a little hint of orange, which is strange. Again, I'm assuming that's either from some of the hops that have gone into this, maybe Hercules or something like that, and the yeast. Yeah, no complaints. It's nice, refreshing. I wouldn't class it as a winter beer. More like a Märzen or Märzen. I've got to learn how to fucking pronounce that word. I'm going to pronounce it Märzen for now. If anybody out there, any German viewers, just give me a fucking phonetic breakdown of how to pronounce that, because I hate pronouncing words wrong. My mate Norby fucking pisses himself laughing at some of the way I pronounce German words. And I've got a mate in Belgium as well. Him and his missus watch it when I review a Belgian beer that's come from the Flemish Brabant, and they piss themselves laughing at my pronunciation in Flemish. Why do I bother? I should just review fucking English beer, shouldn't I? And laugh at them. I will fucking make a point of taking the piss out of their pronunciations now. I'll pull them up. Before I was quite nice to them, but fuck them. Gloves are off now. World War III has fucking started between England, Belgium and Germany. I haven't met any Czech... I haven't got any Czech friends that... oh, here's a little story for you. I did have a Czech friend. He don't talk to me now, unfortunately. He was getting a tattoo on his ribs, and he asked me to proofread it. It was in English. It was the lyrics from a song, and he said to me, "Is the grammar correct?" And I looked at it, and it was all fine. It looked okay. There was commas were all in the right place, capital letters, etc. I said the grammar's fine. He also meant to check the fucking spelling, and one of the words was spelt wrong, and I give it my seal of approval because he only said grammar. And yeah, he got it tattooed, so he's got the lyrics of a song. It's a punk song, so I don't think many people are going to know it. But it was tattooed with a spelling mistake on it in English. And he emailed me and was cursing me. And turns out he's a fucking MMA fighter and stuff like that over in the Czech Republic. And yeah, he hasn't spoken to me since. And I'm not fucking going over there because he will fucking beat me so hard my fucking grandkids will feel it. But there you go. Yeah, don't ask me. Say to me, don't ask me to do this. Just don't ask me to do anything because you'll only end up fucking drunk. There you go. Right, last mouthful. I'll give you the fucking breakdown of what's going on. Nice. Quite full-bodied, nicely balanced. There is a slight sweetness to it, slight honey sweetness to it, but there's quite a pronounced hop character on the finish, and that's a spicy hop character on the finish. It's nice, it's refreshing, reminds me of a Märzen. Not really a winter beer in my opinion, but you know, they can do what they want. They are the brewers, but for a winter beer I would be expecting a dark beer. It's nice, there's no nasties in it, no complaints. I could drink quite a few of these. It's 5.5%, got to be careful, but yeah, all in all, that is not a bad beer. So what's the verdict on Schwabenbräu, das Winterbier? Yeah, it's not bad. I wouldn't really have classed this as a winter beer myself. I would have got this down as a Märzen and would have been lauding this as some kind of fest beer maybe, but it's down to the brewer what they do. And this is only available from the end of October, and it's a seasonal beer, so you're not going to find that in summer, which is a shame, because I'll tell you something, that is quite refreshing. That is chilled, come out the fridge. In the summer, that would be quite refreshing. It is fucking taters out there, and it's pissing down, typical English weather, and I have to say, it's a beer. I mean, to be honest, I don't really fucking mind what time of year it is when the beers come out. You know, I will drink Guinness in the summer, and I will drink lager in the winter. It does not fucking bother me. But some people were quite funny like that. They do like a dark beer in the winter and a light beer in the summer. It doesn't fucking bother me at all. As long as it's got alcohol in it, that'll do me. But this beer ain't bad. I quite like it. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, I think, because it's doing nothing wrong. The only complaint that I've got is about the classification of it. It's as a winter beer. Yeah, but it is nice. I do like it. And not only that, it's quite refreshing as well. So, yeah, no complaints about that whatsoever. Now, again, I'm going to make a fucking disclaimer with all these German beers that I'm getting. They were brought over from Germany by a mate of mine, and I'm not sure how readily available they are going to be in the United Kingdom. But I will say, if you do see any of the beers that I recommend, and you see them on Beers of Europe or House of Trembling Madness or Beer Sniffers or any of them online websites, then I always make the caveat of weighing up the price as to what is a better beer. Now, I'm all for being open-minded and trying a beer once, but if you're a little bit strapped for cash, and let's face it, most people are nowadays, it's, you know, we're going through hard times over here in the UK. You want to get your best, and I'm quoting the Americans here, your best bang for your buck. So what I'm going to do is I'm always going to say whether it's worth shelling out a lot of money for a beer, because there is always, in my opinion, a better alternative. But there you go, that's just my philosophy on beer. But this ain't bad. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I'll recommend it. Weigh up the price, have a look, see what else is available for the same price. And you know, if you've watched any of my other reviews, that's the whole point of my reviews. I do want people to get the best beer for the least amount of money. Now, I'm trying all these beers. I mean, these were given to me by a mate for free, but I've given him a load of German beers, a load of English beers in exchange. So I haven't really got a freebie, and I do make a point about not taking freebies. And I have been contacted by a few English brewers saying, you know, oh, do you want to review our beer? There's two from Yorkshire, would you believe? And I politely declined and said, no, I want to remain objective. I don't want people sending me beer. And some of the subscribers as well have kindly asked me how can they get beers over to me and all that. I really don't like doing that. I'm not a beggar, if you know what I mean. And I want to give people my honest opinion, and I want to give you that opinion because I've paid my own money for these beers. Now, if I was getting, as some people are on YouTube, getting free beers and reviewing them. I think it's not just beer. I see it a lot. I'm in the process of, well, I'm selling a load of my gear. I want to buy this bass guitar amp, and I'm selling a lot of gear. It's very expensive, and I have to sell a lot of gear to fucking buy it, but I do want it. But I'm looking at the reviews, and all the people that are reviewing it have what would be called influencers. I fucking hate that term, influencers. The only thing that influences me is fucking beer. But or the dogs when they want to go for a walk. But what annoys me is they've been giving them products for free, and they're lauding how great they are. Now I can make my own mind up. I can hear a good amp when I hear one, and a shit amp, and I can spot a bullshitter when it comes to reviewing certain pieces of musical equipment. But it does irk me that they've got these amps for nothing, and they're lauding how great they are and all that, and they're really going overboard. And I just think, you fucking shills, just selling your soul. I hate that, I really do. And that's why, no disrespect, if anybody offers to send beer over, I'm going to politely decline. I want to, and I do get your point. You've obviously tried some beer that you really want me to try. I will make a note of it, and if I do see it, I will review it, but I'm not going to take freebies. So there you go. That's just me. So this is an 8 out of 10. This is recommended, depending on the price, and this was Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. And remember, beer is working class champagne.